is a soup. That's my opinion on the matter. It's the same thing as a soup. Let's keep it a buck. Apparently oatmeal is close to a soup. I think that's an interesting take. Yeah, oatmeal is way closer to soup than cereal. Cereal is a soup, though. Hi, guys. In breaking news, it's a rare Friday night stream with your favorite fake gamer and her cat. See, okay, I've been reorganizing the shelves. Here, let me do this. I've been reorganizing the shelves. Like, I reorganized all the Switch games there. You can't see the actual books, but I did that. I'm reorganizing that shelf. And so I had to put some of the spare books that I had and like extras there. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have that box be there for like a day or two. It's been 4 days. Bet you can't guess why. Like, what am I gonna do? Take it away from him? Then he's gonna be sad. I mean, look at him. He's sleeping so peacefully. Like, what do you want me to do? Just kick him off and then take the joy from his day? I can't do that. But yeah, one day that box will be gone. It wasn't supposed to be there for longer than like a day, maybe two. I think I'm going on 4 now. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. Rare Friday stream. YouTube has been broken today. So some people didn't see my videos. I didn't put up some of the videos I had. So I figured because I have a lot of random small topics, we do a shorter stream. This will probably only be like a 2-hour stream since I don't typically hang out on a Friday. But I figured there's a lot of like small random stuff that's going on. Most importantly though, we have Elden Ring news. Guys, can you read that shit? I can't. Listen. I'm blind, right? I'm part blind. But I don't think a sightly person could see what this shit says. They need to, it's like 720p. Listen, Bandai Namco, you guys have a lot of money. Maybe you could upgrade your quality a little bit. Anyway, they've officially announced the global release times for Night Rain. And that means that on Thursday, I'm going to be streaming at 6 p.m. Because hey, I don't know what it is with companies and having a global release day, but then actually not releasing it on that day. Whatever. It's supposed to come out next Friday, but it's actually coming out on PC next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So we're technically getting it a day early. Well, half a day early, I guess. So that means I'm going to be streaming more like 360. Either way, it's really bad. Like, it is really, really bad. I found an article about it, though. I guess we'll read it. PC Games N. Why do they have the N? Does anybody know what the N stands for? Seems pretty sus. When is the release date? Your time in the lands between isn't over just yet. Tarnished. Yeah, we get it. Set in a parallel universe to that of the Souls-like game that we all know and love, paving the way for new possibilities. Oh yeah, here it is. Thursday, May 29th. It launches on May 29th at 3 p.m. PDT or 6 p.m. EDT. So Thursday, 6 p.m. Because I thought we were going to have Tuesday and Thursday for games, but psych, we don't. And I'm not missing out on Night Rain release, so I'm excited for that. I thought that was cool. Speaking of Elden Ring, we know that they're going to literally milk this game for all it's worth because they announced the movie. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. There were rumors about them doing a movie. And then they said that it wasn't true. I want to say it was Discussing Films that put out that news. And then they ended up saying, no, like, it's not true. We got confirmation. And now, like, 2 weeks later, they've confirmed it. I just think that that's funny. There's been so many instances of that happening recently. And I'm going to show another example in a few of, which topic was it? Oh, Wheel of Time. Oh, you guys have nothing to worry about when it comes to Wheel of Time. It's not getting canceled. Psych. they announced today it's getting canceled. The Access Media doesn't actually have a lot of access. More news at 11. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel bad for them. They make it seem like you're supposed to. I guess if you don't pay a lot of attention to what's going on with the media and the way that they act, I guess I could see you not really understanding why they're so hated. But because they constantly make themselves look like idiots and they constantly say things that are either completely false or the opinion that their audience generally doesn't agree with, I just don't know how somebody can feel bad for them. Sticker? What do you mean sticker? Oh, on the microphone? Yeah. I put some stickers on the microphone. I put the eye, I put Gandalf's hat, I put a couple of, I thought I clicked the microphone off. I put a couple of Lord of the Rings stickers on the microphone because I'm a girl and girls like stickers. Mr. Melancholy, thank you for the 5. Wait, they're doing an Elden Ring movie now? Yes, they did officially confirm it here. Let me bring it up actually. If X is gonna work. Elden Ring movie. This shit never works. It's been so broken for days. Oh yeah, we're thrilled to announce that Bandai Namco Entertainment and A24 are teaming up with the writer and director Alex Garland to bring From Software Inc.'s world-renowned video game Elden Ring to life as a live-action film. We're truly excited to bring the world of Elden Ring to fans in a new form outside of the game. Listen, I love a good movie. I love Elden Ring. But do we need an Elden Ring movie? No. What is it gonna be? It's just gonna be like a faceless, nameless guy going around fighting this family, terrorizing the lands between. Because there's no shot that they're going to be able to come up with a cohesive story for it. I mean, look at the game itself. There's people who literally put up like 20-hour deep dive lore videos for Elden Ring. And they still don't know what's going on. Like, if you need that much detail, there's no way that Hollywood's going to be able to put that in a movie. I mean, they can't even do it when they have a 3-hour movie or a freaking 4-hour movie. Stupid. And then I'm sure George is going to be like, oh yeah, guys, another reason to not write the books. We don't need to talk about George, though. We do not, because I talk about that guy every stream. I mean, hate's the only press he's getting at this point. But yeah, I mean, you guys know I love Elden Ring. And I don't hate the concept of an Elden Ring movie. I just don't see a way that they could actually make it and it be like a cohesive story. It's going to be missing so much lore, so much material. That's a problem with Wheel of Time, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. The fact that they had a show should have been good, because then they could have like 8 hours of content a season. Well, if it was good TV, it'd be 10 or 12, but we know we can't go past 8 episodes a season now. You'd think that they wouldn't skip out on so many characters and subplots and details, but instead they just skip over everything that's important for a normie audience. Like, the reason why you adapt something like Elden Ring or the Wheel of Time is for those hardcore fans. Your first mistake is trying to dumb it down for a normie audience. Those people don't care. Those people are not the ones that you need to expect to show up and support your product monetarily. You need to expect your hardcore fans to show up. And if you change the story, or mods ban this guy, Cynthia Erivo is Renan, get out of here. You're banned. If you expect normies to show up, you're already doing something wrong. It makes sense to a certain extent, because they're hoping that they're gonna get like 15-year-olds in theaters, and like people who like the game are also going to follow suit. But I don't I don't see that happening. Elden Ring, sure. It's a big game. It's a big name. From Software's giant in this industry. I love them. I love their content. Elden Ring is one of my favorite games of all time. But it would make more sense to not adapt it. Ooh, they're gonna have to put so much money into this CGI. It's gonna be crazy. I don't get it. A24 doesn't do big budget films, do they? List of A24 movies. They don't do that. They do horror, but they don't do, what's the most expensive budget? The most expensive budget they've ever put towards anything, guys, is $25 million. There's no fucking shot you can make an Elden Ring movie with $25 million. That's the cost of the dragons in Game of Thrones alone. And you only get 3 shots of them throughout the last season. Never mind. Never mind everything else. Yikes. I don't know. Seems like a pretty bad idea to me. Maybe they're just gonna AI it. If there's AI in this Elden Ring movie, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'll say that now. Even if it's fantastic, I'll never watch it. Why? Because you don't like Elden Ring? Google AI will do it all. See, that's what I'm saying. What if... Starring Brie Larson's Melania, who's expressing her female power, brought to you by Amazon. Okay, listen. Listen, stop trolling, guys. You're actually going to give them ideas. You guys are going to legitimately put an idea in their head, and you are going to be the one to blame when this turns out to be a nightmare. No, that's not even funny. It's not even funny. Anyway, I wanted to start the stream off with saying that Mr. Melancholy, thank you for the 1 month. Much appreciated. Never trust Hollywood, especially modern Hollywood, to handle an IP like Elden Ring or Dark Souls or Bloodborne. They can't even do Borderlands, right? It's true. How are they going to understand the complexities of something like a From Software game when they can't even do something really fucking simple like a Borderlands? Borderlands wasn't that difficult. It needed really good action, a set of at least decent actors, and I don't think it was the worst movie I've ever watched. It was pretty close, though. It was definitely right there. It was almost in the category of worst of all time. But yeah, I wanted to start the stream off with talking about Elden Ring because, well, what else am I gonna do? Have to enjoy life some way, right? So on May 29th, so on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, the game launches. I'm excited. I hope it turns out to be good. Oh, they did confirm that they are going to be doing duos at some point, which doesn't make sense to me. Why is it you didn't have duos in the first place? Why did you stay away from duos? Because it's single player or 3 player, so it's not even 4, but it's 3. I kind of feel, maybe this is just me, I kind of feel like they expected Elden Ring to be a slow burn. So they thought it would start off okay, and then as the years went on, it would sell more and more copies, and it eventually would build up. But it skyrocketed initially, and then they were like, oh, fuck. We actually don't have anything else, so let's just do this DLC. And then the DLC came out, and they were like, oh shit, we really need something else. Let's just recycle boss fights, and maybe come up with a few unique ones, and call it a day. I hope it comes out and it's good, but definitely struck me as a little bit weird. It just, I mean, maybe I'm overthinking it. What do I know? Hey, Shamash, thank you so much for the 5. Amazon called Wheel of Time. Sadly, we're getting a Rings of Power season 3, but here's to hoping they cancel it before season 4. Rings of Power pisses me off so much more than Wheel of Time. But Wheel of Time was so trash, we have to take the wins where we can. I love Wheel of Time. You guys know I'm a slightly bigger fan of Lord of the Rings. So Rings of Power hurts way more, but neither of them should exist. I have seen over the past little while, the past couple of hours, people calling for Amazon to bring Wheel of Time back, which I know they said it's canceled. What if it's actually not and they just wanted a lot of attention from it? But thank you for the 5. What if they were hoping that the fan reaction was going to be what it is now? Because I think that this vocal minority of people who actually liked it are being pretty vocal right now. But we need to cancel both. Let's start right there. Let's clean the slate. Rings of Power canceled. Wheel of Time canceled. Just get rid of it all. I still think Rings of Power is slightly worse. But then again, the Wheel of Time, oh god, there's so many characters that are butchered. There's so many plot lines that are butchered. And so many characters that are just missing. The Acolyte crowd. Yeah, they're like the Acolyte and Raylo fans, where they just pick one character and then they hyper focus on obsessing over that one character, and all they do is like write fan fictions and do fan art, which, hey, I mean, if you like a character, you can do that, but that is not going to keep a show alive. Wheel of Time was the prototype for Amazon Rings of Power. They're all bad. Rings of Power is the worst. I agree. I still think that we could have had another good Tolkien show, but then they decided to go for the most undercooked story ever, and they decided to throw away all the existing material for the characters that they're using in order to, of course, push a specific agenda. So Amazon in a nutshell. Anyway, if you guys didn't hear, this is crazy news, good news. We got one win today, and that's that Amazon has canceled Wheel of Time. 3 seasons too many, but I guess you have to take the wins where you can. And I thought that this was so hilarious because when I started looking into this, I had remembered a couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of chatter about the Wheel of Time and like, oh, why haven't they been doing like more announcements? Why haven't they been talking about next season? Just a couple of weeks ago, guys, May 12th. May 12th. Why fans shouldn't worry about a Wheel of Time Season 4 renewal. This was by Paul Tassi. I've seen some amount of panic amongst fans of the Wheel of Time that it's been a while since the show ended, and there has not been a renewal announcement for Season 4 after the truly excellent Season 3. Fans are sharing a petition with almost 200,000 letters sent, and they've seen it shared by the show's creator and members of the cast, which they believe implies that maybe there's some desperation setting in that it might not happen. So, excellent Season 3, only 2 weeks ago. You guys should not worry about a Wheel of Time Season 4 renewal. Forbes today. 4 hours ago. Some very bad news for Wheel of Time Season 4 as Amazon does the unthinkable. It's not very unthinkable to me. I'm pretty happy to hear that they're doing this, honestly. It shouldn't have ever got this far, and that's what's sad about it. They could have made something that was at least slightly enjoyable. They could have made something that people would have slightly enjoyed, but they didn't. They just put in the least amount of effort possible. So it says the Wheel of Time was just starting to get good. Listen, I think Eric Kane has some pretty decent takes. I generally agree with him about a lot. And I feel like he is not blinded by, oh, we need to have the opposite opinion as our audience, because that's how a lot of journos work now. Like, he hates Rings of Power, which I, of course, appreciate. And he claims that the Wheel of Time was just starting to get good. Bad take in my opinion, but the rest kind of makes sense. So naturally, Amazon decided to cancel the fantasy series. Season 3 will be its final season, and the news comes after declining viewership numbers, even as critic and fan reception of the third season was better than ever. The reason why the fan reception was better, guys, is because half the amount of people watched it. So you had significantly less reviews, and the only people that actually took the time to leave reviews were the people who were just mega fans of it. That's the only reason why. I thought that was so funny. Because if you have a smaller group of people, yeah, they're probably people who have stuck around these seasons because they liked it. Maybe they're not book fans. Maybe they found something to get enjoyment of. Maybe they're also bots. There were a lot of botting accusations with this. But yeah, when you've only got fucking 10 people watching it and 8 of them are just mega fans, right? Of course those 8 people or 10 people are gonna stop and leave reviews. Paul Tassi. Yeah, Paul Tassi's a little soy boy. Thank you, Mr. Melancholy, for the 2. Much appreciated. Chris, thank you so much for the 5. Modern Hollywood and gaming are just milking IPs, all thanks to DEI, where imagination as a tool is destroyed and is replaced by agenda pushing. Oh yeah, 100%. They see these big names for franchises that already exist, and they say to themselves, instead of greenlighting something new that could definitely be a failure, we might as well greenlight a remake, reboot, or sequel or continuation that at least might have an existing base audience. It's like with Marathon, they fucking knew that if it wasn't called Marathon in 2025, nobody would have played that shit. But there are people who are willing to give it a chance because it's got the Marathon name attached to it, even though it's nothing like OG Marathon. It's not in any way, shape, or form. It's totally different. But they knew that at least it would turn your head because you saw that name. And it's happening a lot. But thank you, Chris, for the 5. And Justin, thank you for the 2. HBO, please don't fuck up the Arya Stark spinoff. They're not doing that. Sorry. Sorry to tell you. I don't mean to break your heart, but they're not doing that. Sorry. Season 1 got off to a pretty rough start, but Season 2, for all its flaws, was a major improvement, and Season 3 was genuinely good fantasy television, even though it continued to make drastic changes from the source material. This might be a hot take, or it might not. I don't give a fuck if you write a 10 out of 10 story. If it doesn't follow the source material, I don't want it. You might be able to take an idea for a story in someone else's world and create a show that is really, really phenomenal. If it doesn't follow the source material, I just don't care. I'll never rate it highly. It's like even with Witcher Season 1, right? They generally followed it. They did make quite a few changes from the canon, and I was disappointed by that. The first season was significantly better than the other seasons. You would never catch me giving that a super high rating because it ventured from the source material. If you are going to work on a franchise, it is your duty to follow the material. It shouldn't be that difficult to understand. If something makes drastic changes, you don't get respect from me. Season 3 was so good, in fact, that it inspired me to continue reading the Robert Jordan novels. There is no shot that, at least I don't think, that anybody could watch this show and go, wow, this was so good, I'm gonna go and read the books. As if they think that the books are really gonna, like, follow the material. Again, with adaptations, a lot of the time, they dumb stuff down for an average audience to kind of understand. And that was the major problem that I had with the Wheel of Time. The sets felt like sets. They felt very small and very cramped. A lot of the character work wasn't very good. I didn't like most of the actors. I thought a couple of them were actually pretty decent, but nobody really like stuck out to me except for Rosamund Pike, who plays Moraine, and then Lanfear's actress. I don't remember her name. I don't remember her name, but she did a pretty good job as well. I think that the CGI generally looked okay, but they did so many bad things. Like, they dumbed down like the religion and the atmosphere and a lot of the like the geographical traits of people, whether it was them looking a certain way or even accents and languages. Like, they didn't have language writers and coordinators like something such as Game of Thrones. It was really dumbed down. I personally wasn't a big fan. I thought that it was pretty bad all around. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that they absolutely loved or adored this series, any of the seasons. And well, you're not gonna get any more content if you did love it. It says, though, while it's obvious that the books in the show diverged in too many ways to list, I appreciated that the third season actually made for great TV. This is in stark contrast to the steaming pile of orc manure that is Amazon's other big fantasy show, The Rings of Power. I felt this way when Disney got a hold of Star Wars. My initial reaction was, wow. They are going to have so much fucking money to throw at these series that there's no way they're going to be bad. Like, they're going to be able to hire the best actors and actresses. They're going to be able to put as much money as possible towards writers and producers and directors. They're going to be able to have such big, epic storylines and battles, and it's going to be so cool. And we see what happened with Star Wars. We see what happened with the Rings of Power. We see what happened with the Wheel of Time. Amazon should, for all intents and purposes, be able to hire a dream team for something like this, for something like the Rings of Power even, but they couldn't. First of all, a problem is they're hiring activists, right? But a second part of it is they're hiring people who don't know the material at all and just don't give a fuck. There are some activists out there, I'm sure, who actually care about the Wheel of Time, who actually care about the Rings of Power, but it just didn't end up panning out. So the 2% of activists who actually cared a little bit were overruled by the 98% of fucking trash people. Shine Moon, thank you so much for the 30 months. Absolutely insane. I just watched the terrible Dresden Files show, and that's how I started reading the books. There's a lot of times I feel where something is so bad, whether that's like a movie or a TV show, and I've questioned, there's no way that this bad piece of media got a show or a movie because the source material was bad. Like, it has to be wildly different, and then it piques my curiosity. But I generally feel like it's not, oh, I think that this show, well, I guess it depends on what we're talking about, because something like Game of Thrones, I've seen a lot of people say, I love the show so much I decided to go watch it. I decided to go read it. But I feel generally when I see the response, it's, oh, this was so bad, I want to go and actually read the source material and see how they butchered it. But anyway, continuing on, it says, for whatever reason, pride perhaps, Amazon has renewed Rings of Power despite its massive decline in viewership while canceling the wildly superior The Wheel of Time. I think that when it boils down to it, if they're going to dump a lot of money into something and that money is going to be wasted, they'd still rather have it be wasted on the bigger name. And I'm not saying that Wheel of Time is small. I'm not saying that Robert Jordan was a bad writer or anything. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the means. But I feel like Rings of Power and Lord of the Rings has so much more name recognition. And so they figure, oh, well, we've already put over $1 billion into the Rings of Power at this point, probably like $1.5 billion into this, so we might as well continue on with it. Word on the street is that they were always committed to just barreling forward with the 5 seasons of the Rings of Power. Like, they, from the start, had expected to do all that. I mean, they had said it, but it's one thing to say that's your goal or your intention, and it's another thing for it to actually happen. But I mean, they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on Rings of Power. Mr. Melancholy, thank you for the 5. I never had any faith in Disney because I don't like mega corporations getting their nasty hands on IPs. When Disney bought Star Wars, my heart sank. Yeah, I mean, I completely understand that, but I still feel like when a company has so much money that they can put towards something, it's better than... Well, now we know. I used to feel it's better than maybe not getting an adaptation at all, but I don't feel that way anymore. I'd rather these things not get continuations and not get adaptations instead of them fucking butchering. It's like with Knights of the Old Republic. I love Knights of the Old Republic. So fucking good. Love the characters. Love the storylines. I'd love a KOTOR remake. After they had Sam Maggs on that project, I have no hope. I have no faith. Even though she's not working on that anymore, and she went to go work at Wizards of the Coast, which, fucking bye-bye, loser. Have fun. Slop stays where slop is. I think it would be so hard to get me excited for that at this point. And sure, if they ever came out with the KOTOR remake, I would play it. But... yeah, even though she's not actively working on it anymore, just knowing that she was a part of it at one point is such a major red flag, because that means that there are other people with a similar mindset that were probably working on that project. Very bad. Anyway, sure, there are many ways that Wheel of Time could have been better. Just one or two, guys. While there was no feasible way to stick to the letter of the source material, why? Why was there no feasible way to stick to the source material? You guys had hundreds of millions of dollars to put into this. You guys got like 8 to 10 hours of content per season. You are not convincing me that you couldn't follow the source material. Yeah, nobody's ever gonna fucking convince me of that. Weird. Obviously, it would have been great if the first season had been stronger, so the more fans stuck around as the show improved, but the cast was really starting to come into its own by season 3. If it takes 3 seasons to get your show off the ground, your show is fucking bad. Imagine if they were like, yeah, Game of Thrones, it got good in season 6, and then 2 seasons later it was over. You just have to push through the first 5 seasons. What? No. 1 season, 1. I can understand a single season not being the strongest, especially for something like Wheel of Time where you have so much to build up to. 1. 3? No. There's no excuse except for bad writing. That's the only reason that it took 3 seasons. Bad writing. But the cast was really starting to come into its own by season 3, and all the talented actors and design team that made season 3 the strongest yet deserved a chance at making season 4 and beyond. Not finishing the story is a real slap in the face to all the loyal fans who did stick around. I'm sorry to the 18 people out there who were still watching this. I feel really bad for you right now. I'm heartbroken for you that you lost out on your favorite show. And that does suck. I like to joke, I like to meme. If you like the show, get off your ass and read the fucking books, because they're 100 times better. I've got all of them. Oh, you can't see them. I've got all the Wheel of Time books right there, guys. It's not that hard. Put down your phones. Abandon your fucking TikTok. Stop looking at girls twerking that are of a questionable age and read the fucking books. Stop being Raylo fanfic writers. Stop dreaming about Kylo Ren lightsabering you. Get off your ass and read the fucking books. Thank you. Perhaps live action is not the best way to adapt these long, ultimately very expensive epic fantasies. An animated Wheel of Time, for instance, could stick closer to the source material. Why is it that a show with like a $200 or $300 million budget can't follow the source material? Now, I would generally agree. If something is very complex and it takes a lot of time to get set up, sure. I am perfectly fine with watching an animated. I love animated. That's cool. But you can't give them an unlimited amount of excuses. They got the money. They got the time. It's like with what the Dragon Age writer said. Oh, Expedition 33 was successful because it cooked. It had time to cook. What? And Veilguard didn't? It had hundreds of millions of dollars in a decade. How much more time do you need? Genuinely. How much more time do you actually need to write something or to make something? You can't ask for any more. Yikes. It says, though, an animated Wheel of Time could stick closer to the source material while costing a fraction of what a live-action series costs. I hate to bring this up, because we know whenever I say something, it seems to happen, and that's not good. I hate to jinx it. I think... Now, let me say this quietly, okay? So less people in Hollywood hear this. I think over the next 5 years, we are going to see an insane spike in the amount of animated prequels and, like, adaptations because of AI. I think that they're going to pick a fucking art style, like a Studio Ghibli art style, and then they're going to pump out companion series. I hate it. I do. I hate it. I don't want that. But they don't actually really have to pay anybody except to maybe polish up the art, maybe polish up the story. What do they spend? 20 million, maybe 30 million max. That's it. Bad news, guys. All hope is lost. Anyway, Amazon's best fantasy series, The Legend of Vox Machina, proves that you can do a lot more with fantasy when it's animated while still capturing all the life and action and magic of the story. I'm not opposed to animated. I'm not. It's just... they had opportunities here. It's not my fault that they didn't do good, that they weren't able to do anything successful with it. Like, they had plenty of chances. It says, though, at least we still have the book. Speaking of fantasy novels, read my review of Joe Abercrombie's latest release, The Devils. I haven't read it yet, so I can't do that. But I think that this is funny. The duality of Forbes. Fans shouldn't worry about a Wheel of Time Season 4 renewal, and you blew it. And it's dead. And there are a lot of, like, fan accounts that are trying to post about this. Breaking, Wheel of Time canceled after 3 seasons. Hashtag save WOT starts now. And hey, if you feel passionately enough, go and sign a petition. I don't know if there is one yet. I'd assume that there's a petition. Go sign the petition. Leave the stream, never come back. If you like it, hashtag save WOT on X. Have fun. But as somebody who actually likes the source material, as somebody who actually gives a fuck about fantasy, as somebody who doesn't just shill for mega corporations, I'm gonna say no. And I'm gonna pass on that. Clint, thank you for the 2. CalArts adaptations for all. Thank you for that. Yeah, I don't want any, like, adaptations of anything. I don't want companies to spam adaptations because it's easy, but we see how easy it's going to be now. And there is no shot that companies are just going to casually ignore that. There's no way that they're not going to try to find some way to utilize that and make money off of it. Also, guys, really quickly, if you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. We're almost at 200 likes. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Links in the description and the pinned comment. Donate, support, become a member. Thank you. Okay, self-shilling is done. Vote for Dustborn? No. Yeah, I saw the poll was, right now it's at 64% no effing way, guys. I gotta be honest with you, I think we're gonna play it. I think we're gonna play it. We have to get it done one day. You know, why is tomorrow not that day? Well, it'd be tomorrow and Sunday. I know. Don't hate me. I want to go back and play Kazan. I've just been playing these other games. We do need to finish Kazan, though. I bet I could hop in Kazan right now and beat Hismar in 3 attempts. I think I said that. I've said that every stream since the last time. I got absolutely wrecked by him. If I hopped in that game right now, I'd be able to defeat that fucking dragon. But there's quite a lot of meltdowns over this right now. So I guess that this show did have somewhat of an audience. Just not enough. You need booze for that. Only on the like, what are they called? Milestone streams have I ever done shots. Like on 50K, 75K, 100K. We never did anything for 150. Guys, right now is our 150 celebration. Well, we're technically at, what, 161? So it's a little off. There's people who are absolutely crying over this. That's a damn shame, but hopefully someone else buys the rights and does it the right way the next time around. I don't know what's gonna happen. There's a lot of people who are hoping that somebody else will buy the rights. Shots for 150K. I've done shots on those streams, not on other ones though. I'm not doing shots right now. I'll do a shot if we hit, like, I don't know, $100 or something. I don't want to do that. No. We're joking, guys. Just like Amazon. They're joking. They're not actually canceling this. That's the cope that I've seen, by the way. We need to create a movement. Cancel out subs or make more videos to spread to word. He's passionate as fuck. Hashtag cancel out subs. Hashtag videos to spread to word. Spread to word, chat. Financial reasons would have been cheaper to kill Moraine off, as she is probably the most expensive actress on the show. True. But I feel like that was the only actress that actually got normies interested in this show. And that's what sucks about this, is they whittled it down and watered it down so that normies would watch it when really all they did was kill off, like, the reason why people loved it in the first place. Oh, it ticks me off so badly. Still not as much as Rings of Power, though. Rings of Power is the worst. Hypernauts! Thank you so much for the 20. Have a drink on me, Vera. Guys. You're toxic. Thank you, Hypernauts, though, for the 20 Canadian. Damn, how's Canada doing these days? You surviving over there? Thank you so much for the 5. Unfortunately, we'll have to endure a wave of AI slop to get rid of all the artists and writers who produce the slop. Yeah, I always feel very mixed when it comes to AI, because I think that AI is a fine tool. She already chickened out. I'm not chickening out. Every $100 donation, I take a shot. Okay, no. Except for your donations. Yours don't count. No. It's like, I think AI is a good tool, but I don't trust people to use it as a tool. In theory, AI should not be used as a replacement. But then I think of localizers, and I say, fuck the localizers, bring on the AI. And all my morals just go out the window. That's the worst part. Any other time, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, keep the people. Localizers, though? Vocalizers, though. Bye-bye. Sayonara, bitches. You're not going to get any sympathy from me. Linux, thank you so much for the 10 months. Is it said that Shannara Chronicles and Legend of the Secret TV shows were closer to their source material, but still far off than Wheel of Time was? I think that when it comes to fantasy, from the very beginning, it's either super hit or super miss. And there's really not an in-between, at least for me personally. But as I mentioned with source material, like, even if you only stray from the source material a little bit, I'm still not going to view your product the same as I would have or give you any credit. Like, let's say you follow 80% of the source material. Sure, I guess that's good, but there was still that 20% that you didn't follow, which sucks. But thank you for the 10 months. And Justin, thank you for the 2 shots. How much for a knee shot? That got JT trouble. I'm not getting banned on this platform. Listen, YouTube has been so broken today. That'd be my fucking luck. That show got forgotten by literally everyone. There's so many shows that are like that, though. Not surprising, the show got better as it went on, but it alienated a lot of its built-in fandom with decisions made early on that, and Amazon decided to go cheap on it and not give it the resources it needed. I don't know what the budget was for the 3rd season. Wheel of Time Season 3 budget. So it doesn't say. It got 13 million in incentives from the Czech State Cinematography Fund. Okay. It says, while the total budget for the season isn't explicitly stated, this incentive indicates a significant investment because this is double the standard incentive cap, as the production was able to file 2 separate applications. God damn. They're really scamming everybody, huh? Scoop, Wheel of Time, spent over 260 million on the 1st season. Okay, yeah, we already had heard about that. But nothing about season 3. I'd assume, now this is just me putting on a tinfoil hat, that it was similarly budgeted, but I also don't know how much wiggle room they would have truly had. Because it's not like those first 2 seasons were even the highest level of quality possible. They still felt cheap in a lot of ways. Well, I'm gonna have a glass of whiskey for Vera. Go for it. Don't die, my friend. 260 million? Season 1 did not look that quality. No, it didn't. That's what's crazy, is they spend hundreds of millions of dollars just to create trash. It's like Expedition 33, rumored 50 million. But then you look at something like Veilguard, which was rumored over 200 million. Where did the fucking money go? It looks terrible. It looks awful. It does not look bad. I mean, it does not look good. I can't drink as I'm at work. Fair enough, Juby. Juby's gonna be texting us drunk on the job. We're gonna get Juby fired. Uh-oh. Suicide Squad being 300 million. That is fucking insane to me. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy to me. Also, guys, I did say it, and I know we're memeing about it. If we get $50 more, I'll take a shot at the end of stream. How about that? We're memeing about it, so it's only fair. I keep my word on the once, because everyone's saying I wimped out. I didn't wimp out. Money laundering through gaming. I think that there are a lot of companies that allegedly, don't quote me, appear to be money laundering. Now listen, I'm not naming names, but if I was, I'd name Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah, what a fucking shit show. It's crazy for them to blame it on financials. Just look at the comparison between Rings of Power and Wheel of Time. The views Wheel of Time garners with 4 times less the cost per episode, 60 mil versus 12 to 15, and drastically lower marketing budget is promising. That's with Rings of Power having a crutch of a larger fan base. I mean, the problem, again, is that Tolkien's fan base is massive. Tolkien's fan base is crazy. But those people want a faithful adaptation. With something like Rings of Power, you need to basically convince those fans to look past the problems, to look past the inaccuracies. 60 mil an episode? Yes, Rings of Power is 60 million an episode on average, which is I don't even have words for it. How you come up with something like that for that much money will always hurt my soul. It always will. But this is a problem. Okay? You might be thinking to yourself at a first glance, wow, 6.5? That's not bad. 6.5 is, it's not great, but it's also not terrible. Season 1 that came out in 2021, so 4 years ago, has 526 ratings. That's the problem. That is nothing. That is nobody. I have 332 people here right now. If I created a Metacritic page for the Varadark show, I could get at least 150 of you right now to do that. In a week, we could have 526 user ratings. We could officially be rated higher than the fucking Wheel of Time. That's the problem. Nobody watched this. Nobody cared. And Amazon is probably figuring. I think what they really did was they greenlit these two fantasy shows at once so that they would have them competing, and they were only ever planning to keep one, but they knew from the start it was going to be Rings of Power. There's no way that you give up Lord of the Rings name for the Wheel of Time. Sorry, I love the Wheel of Time. It's good. I'm not a hater, but it's undeniable that moviegoers are going to know what Lord of the Rings is most times over the Wheel of Time. And then they came up with this. I felt like some of the casting was good, but overall it just didn't come together. Also, we knew why they wanted to make the Wheel of Time, because the all-female organization, which, I mean, it was written that way originally. It's not like they changed that, but you know, they clearly did that for a purpose. Another Amazon Studios fantasy classic is canceled. Imagine my shock. That show was Wheel of Time like a bowl of feces is a breakfast cereal. Laughing out loud. Paul Tassi used to have good takes once in a while. I can't remember the last one. I honestly cannot remember the last one either. You're too generous, Farah. I believe they thought both would be juggernauts. I think that they were hoping that they were both going to be juggernauts, but I don't think they expected them both to be juggernauts. Maybe they did though. You could be correct. Amish, thank you for the 5. Something to think on. Netflix canceled Marco Polo for being too expensive at $9 million per episode. Yeah, but then they continue fucking Bilbo? Hey! Hello? Bilbo? I just heard you. I literally just heard you. Crazy. But then you consider Stranger Things. They have this last Stranger Things season going on for 4 years. Hundreds of millions put into it. I know Stranger Things was big. Much bigger than Marco Polo. But still, like, they're willing to put in the money. Even with Wheel of Time, they put in the money. It's also about interest, though. Yeah, he's chirping back there. I thought at first that was crazy. I heard Marco Polo was a decent show. I personally did not watch it, so I don't have any firsthand experiences. I did not watch it. I've heard pretty good things about it, but hearing good things about it and then there, you know, being commentary, I can give her two different things. But all right, let's move on to the next topic. Any last thoughts on the Wheel of Time except for rest in peace? Because it's dead. It's not coming back. I know that there are people out there who are coping and saying, "Oh my gosh, maybe they'll change their minds. Maybe what they'll do is they'll bring it back and we'll sign all these petitions and everything will go good." I don't think so. I don't see a way that that is going to happen. If they wanted to keep it going, they would have kept it going. Look at what happened with the Netflix and Cowboy Bebop. That was fucking trash and it got raked across the coals. But when they announced that Cowboy Bebop was canceled, there was a massive campaign. The shills, they brought the scores up by what, like two whole points from like I think it was from a 4 to a 6. And then we had heard that the viewership had also went up. We see how that went. Now we have Daniel Pineda coming out and saying, "I actually loved Cowboy Bebop, and I'm so glad we had such passionate fans," even though, what, 4 years ago she was saying, "You guys are bigots for criticizing me." I watched Cowboy Bebop actually, and I liked it. The live action, you liked the live action. Oh my gosh, I think you're the first person I've ever heard that has said that wasn't memeing or a complete media shill. That's insane. Anyway, Overwatch players apparently are a problem. Marvel Rivals is a problem. And you guys are just fucking gooners. So it's another day that ends with a Y. According to PC Gamers, Overwatch players freak out over supposed Widowmaker butt nerf, proving that Marvel Rivals Gooner skins have wound back the clock 10 years. Oh my gosh! How can the Gooners be mad that they censored a character's butt? Censorship literally isn't even that serious, guys. It's just a little censorship. If you're bothered by a little censorship, that's a you problem. Retard alert. Retard alert. Overwatch players freak out over supposed Widowmaker butt nerf, proving that Marvel Rivals Gooner skins have wound back the clock 10 years. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find this article. Let me see if I can find this. Oh yeah. Here it is. It's not the same author. Oh, actually it is. It is the same author, guys. Back in 2016, if you don't remember, let me brief you. Overwatch had a victory pose where you could simply see Tracer's butt, and the mainstream media was saying, "Good, we're glad that Blizzard removed it." Same fucking guy. Andy! This guy is crazy. This was, of course, back in 2016, but Blizzard had said that they would remove an over-the-shoulder victory pose by Overwatch hero Tracer. And one of the other articles that they had also put out on this... Let me find it. There was another article that I had. Oh, I can't find it off the top of my feed. Anyway, I'll find it after. But they were talking about how an over-the-shoulder victory pose by the Overwatch hero Tracer following a complaint on the Battle.net forums was removed because it turned her into another bland female sex symbol. And now they're saying that, well, guys, it proves that Marvel Rivals Gooner skins have turned back the clocks. Addis, thank you so much for the 10. They need to rewind the clock back to before political correctness. I completely fucking agree. Thank you for that, though. And Varanid, thank you for the 20. Keep up the great work, Vera. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for the support. Guys, I appreciate all the donations, the support, the memberships, the chats. I appreciate you being here. Overwatch 2 Street Fighter 6 collab has officially been announced, and the 8 new skins are ready to appear in the in-game shop today. And just on cue, some players are already finding issues with the skin. Censorship is a valid reason to criticize a game. Censorship is a valid criticism. It's like the other day I had made a video on the Stalker situation. They came out with the Stalker Enhanced Editions, and the mainstream media was saying, oh, it's just a little bit of censorship. Why are people taking this so personally? They're review bombing it. It's not review bombing. It's called criticizing something for a legitimate reason. Censorship is bad, okay? It's bad when it's a butt. It's bad when it's a symbol that might bother people. It's bad when it's simply a number. Censorship is not good, but the media wants you to believe that a little bit of censorship won't hurt you. It will, because censorship is a slippery fucking slope, and if you give companies an inch, they'll take a mile. If you say it's all right if you just censor a butt, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, it's okay if you censor a character's thighs, it's all right. I'll always find this fucking hilarious because these people, in some cases, claim to be feminists. They claim to stand with women and women's rights except for pixelated women. Then, oh guys, we have to censor it. It's okay if a real woman wants to dress in a certain way, but it's not okay when a developer simply wants a fictional character that happens to be a female to dress a certain way. Oh, Bayonetta is a sexualized object, even though Bayonetta was designed by a fucking woman. DB for life. Thank you so much for the 5. Not to go off topic, but the 91 everything wasn't so expensive, so we could afford $80 for Starflight for the Sega Genesis. What an out-of-touch retard. Yeah. That was a really bad take by Randy Pitchford. Oh, guys, back in my day, fellow gamers, how are you doing, fellow kids? I also had to pay a lot of money for video games back in the day. It is a really, really stupid take, but thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate it. So it says, they won't be able to dethrone Marvel rivals by having a half-assed cami skin, one player says, pun intended, if you know, you know. You bolt awake in your bed. It's May 24th, 2016. Today's the day that Overwatch releases. The future cannot come to pass. Overwatch must burn. Can I just rant for a second here? What the fuck is up with journos writing fan fictions? What is with them and their fan fictions? They're always doing this. It's like with the Bloodborne article I had read. I think it was last week when they were saying, oh, video games like Bloodborne should be nice to you when you die. What is up with that? Why is it that we have to like write entire fan fictions in these articles? I don't know. It just comes across as very bizarre to me. Montesquieu, thank you so much for that 55. I think it's weak and unfair that I got excluded. You didn't get excluded from anything. Exiled and banned from the Vera drinking game, but have a journal hat. Oh yeah. I'll get the drink in a minute. I'll take a shot for you guys. Thank you so much for the dono though. And are we at the goal? We are. We did reach the goal. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it. I'll also put it on the journal hat right after this topic, because I don't want to get up in the middle of the topic, because then I'm gonna forget where I was. It says, though, I jest, but seeing players complain about the size of Widowmaker's butt in the new cami skin has dragged me back to 2016, when all the controversy about Blizzard shrinking Tracer's rear was all anyone could ever talk about. Maybe what you should do is actually understand why people are upset. Instead of going around and calling people gooners and chuds and fucking losers, maybe what you should do is try to understand our criticisms. But they don't. Just a couple of days after Overwatch first released back in 2016, the devs had to cut her victory pose. Stop. They didn't have to cut a victory pose. They bent the knee to idiots on social media who claimed that it was over-sexualizing the character, and it just goes to show that these developers had no fucking spines, because they wouldn't have bent the knee, and they wouldn't have censored it, because of one thread on social media. It was a one thread that had people in a fucking uproar. Sometimes, developers need to take a step back. They need to take a little bit of a step back. They need to try to understand, okay, well, there's one thread where people are saying we should remove it, and then there's another thread with 800 more responses that say we shouldn't remove it. Yikes. This then triggered a whole new wave of complaints about censorship. Yes, guys, because your complaints about censorship are not valid. Censorship isn't that big of a deal. Just shut up and consume product. A little bit of censorship never hurt anybody. Why are you so bothered over a little bit of censorship? This truly sounds so unhinged. Censorship is bad, okay? Newsflash. You shouldn't defend censorship. You shouldn't say it's okay. I agree with the censorship. Because it will eventually happen to your favorite franchise. When I'm talking about games like Onimusha 2, and oh, the new remaster's coming out and they censored it, sure. You might think to yourself, cleavage, it's not that big of a deal. In Resident Evil, they added a skirt to Jill. Well, you just can't see her panties, it's not that big of a deal. But eventually, it will happen to your favorite franchise as well. Which is why every instance needs to be called out. Because if they don't get called out, these companies will feel emboldened to do a little bit more, and to do a little bit more, and to do a little bit more, until you can't have content that has a panty shot, or cleavage, or a skimpily dressed female. That's the issue. It is a fucking slippery slope, and these companies will always take advantage of your kindness. They will always take advantage of your defense of them. So they say, oh, it's just a little bit of censorship. It's not that big of a deal. It is that big of a deal. I thought we'd moved on from breaking out the compass and ruler every time a hero gets released or has a new skin, but apparently not. I suppose Marvel Rivals has been feeding the gooners as of late, so maybe we can point the blame over there. Let's see what else this person's written. I genuinely want to see. Huh. Just stick to your guns. Neil Cuckman isn't fazed by all the hate, Intergalactic God. There's stuff happening with media right now that you just have to ignore. Oh, okay. So, defending a developer who is attacking gamers. Who woulda thunk it? Who could have imagined that that would be the case? I think it's funny how they're mad at Marvel Rivals for feeding the gooners when they also talk about Marvel Rivals. And hey, I think that Marvel Rivals is really good. I think that Rivals is good. But it's just funny that they blame this game, but then they also talk about this game. Whatever. Radioactive, thank you so much for the ISK. Is that Icelandic? Icelandic Krona? Is that what it's called? Is that what it is? Thank you so much. Truth, keep fighting the good fight. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Also, let me know if I'm correct. Let's see what else. What else they've talked about. Just a quick little skim. Just a quick little skim. Diablo 4 players aren't happy with the latest $150 Berserk collab, accusing it of being boring and overpriced. The way that they word that is just shut up and consume product. That's terrible. I know that the name of the social media game is to blow things out of proportion slightly. Like sometimes in my titles, like this one, woke gets wrecked, right? Technically, woke isn't going away. Woke did take quite a few hits today. We know woke ain't going away. I'd rather put something like that than players are accusing this of being boring and overpriced. As if it's not boring and overpriced. Like, oh, there's just a couple of people who are a little bit angry over it. Players aren't happy with a $150 collab. No, it should be gamers are fucking furious that they are getting scammed and that these companies feel that they can constantly take advantage of you. That's what the title should be. These people need to like recalibrate where they're aiming their anger. They have aimed their anger at gamers, and they are so out of touch now that they can't actually understand when gamers have a legitimate criticism. They will constantly defend these corporations, of course, because they're access media. They need to keep their access. But it's terrible. $150 is not fucking acceptable. It's just not. And it's never going to be to me. If that's really what you want to do, and that's really what you want to pay, that is your choice. But also, that's crazy to me. PC Gamer. PC Gamer's a little problematic, if you haven't noticed. Anyway, guys, let me go grab the shot really quickly. Let me go grab the journo hat, and I will be back in 1 minute. I'll be back in 1 minute. Put into chat your favorite put into chat your favorite Gooner game, even if it's not qualified as a Gooner game by 95% of people, because it's just a normal game. Guys, did I see what I thought I saw? Lost tapes. Listen, the question was, what's your favorite Gooner game? Not the biggest pile of trash you've ever seen in the history of the existence of this fucking planet. A lot of First Descendants, by the way. First Descendant is good. First Descendant is fun. Is it the best game ever? No, but I also think that it provides at least a pretty decent experience. I haven't gone back to it in a little while. I should, though. I had fun with it when I had played it. I did. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take a shot because I said I would. I'm gonna take a shot. Wow, watermelon vodka. Congratulations, guys. First time I've taken a shot, specifically on this stream. I don't have a shot glass, so I'm just gonna pour a bunch into this cup. Well, not a bunch. I don't know how much a shot is. I'm gonna estimate, okay? Oh god, it smells terrible. Does that look good? That's probably way too much, but I will in a second. But yeah, Overwatch players freak out over this supposed butt nerf. It's always playing it down like it's not that big of a deal. It's not that serious. That pisses me off so badly. It sounds insane to me. Because these people, they never get it. They constantly belittle our opinions, ignore our criticisms, and they need to, if they want to stay even partially in the pocket of the companies. But that doesn't mean that they should. That doesn't mean I'm going to have respect for them. Also, yes, I did put on the journal hat. Ugh. Anyway, I took the shot, guys. But thankfully, there are a weird number of complaints about Blizzard censoring Widowmaker's cami skin, as players have become emboldened by Marvel Rivals' unabashed approach. There are more players willing to see the funny side in all of this. You know what I think? There aren't going to be... Vera hit 2 shots, actually. We're at 161 of chat revenue. Thank you guys for the support. I said $100. So that's technically $40 away from another. Listen, guys, I'm not looking to sit here and take 20 shots on stream. You know what I'm saying? I'll do one more. Maybe one more. In response to someone complaining about how Blizzard ruined the cami skin, one player jokes, "Why won't Blizzard think of the Gooners?" It's never representing gamers' real opinions. It is not. And that sucks. The access media is not to be trusted. There's not... Okay. So, there are outlets like That Park Place that are filled with journalists, but they're not access media. I would not consider them access media. They're not a PC Gamer or a The Gamer or a Polygon. I still think they do good, but there are no good journalists within the access media. I can't remember the last time. Eric Kane is okay. He has a lot of opinions I would generally agree with. But, like, this person, Ellie Gold, fucking Ghoul. Very true. No matter... Oh, Fortnite did the same thing. It's fine. You won't die because you can't see a video game character's ass fully. Put a 1 in chat if you're gonna die if you can't see Widowmaker's ass. Put a 1 in chat if you're gonna die. 2 if you're not gonna die. I've cast my vote in chat. I hope you guys will stand with me. Magnus! Oh, Mangus. I said it wrong. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Much appreciated. I will also count that. So, look at the ones. God fucking damn. I will count that. So, like $15 more. And I'll take another shot. Who is Widowmaker? Widowmaker is... Let me... I can't. I hold on. I'm gonna actually have to find a different... I'm gonna have to search this off stream. Widowmaker butt. Hold on. I'll show you what all the fuss is about. I gotta be careful. I'm about to get us banned. This is my ban stream, guys. Where are the good pictures of Widowmaker? Did Blizzard take all them down? Okay, this is... Okay, it's safe. It's safe. I swear to God, it's safe. This is Widowmaker. This is who all the fuss is about. This right here is who all the fuss is about. I don't think I should be scrolling this. I don't think that this is safe. Yeah. I'm not risking it. That's who Widowmaker is. Yeah, I think I'll die if I don't actually get to respect Widowmaker. Because I respect women. Overwatch is dead. Overwatch is pretty dead. I used to like Overwatch a lot. But then they came out with 2, which was supposed to have PvE, and it didn't, which was fucking trash. And so I gave up on Overwatch 2, and then I started playing Rivals. I play a lot of Rivals now. Rivals is very good. Addis, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships to the channel. All right, guys, I'll take another shot. I'll take another shot. It's only fair. I said that I would. I said that I would. Sorry, I don't actually have a shot glass, and I have to estimate. I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best, and I apologize for not being able to do good enough. Montesquieu, I won't donate any more V, so I'll save it to cheer you up after the hate. Oh yeah, the hate. Today's Friday. Damn. Bad way to start the weekend, huh? Thank you. Ugh. It's just the flavor. It's so weird. I don't even know why I got that in the first place. Clint, thank you for the 5. Never forget that journos think Widowmaker predates Black Widow. Actually, you are You are factually wrong. You're spreading misinformation, Clint. It was the Blizzard president. Mike Ybarra, Black Widow. Yeah. The former Blizzard president had said that the Marvel Rivals team stole the idea of Black Widow stole the idea of Widowmaker to make Black Widow. This had to be, this is in the top 2025 most retarded moments I've had to cite on this channel. Looks like Overwatch Marvel Rival ships tomorrow, much like Light of Motrium, a clear copy of HZD out of China. No clue what that is. I mean, even the character name, Widowmaker in Overwatch versus Black Widow in Marvel Rivals, NetEase and Tencent, all the same. Bro really said that the developers of Marvel Rivals stole the idea of Widowmaker to make Black Widow, even though Black Widow's from 1961? Black Widow, first appearance. I'm a fake fucking comic book fan. 64. I'm a fake fan, guys. And when I say 61, man, fuck. I just spread misinformation as well. But apparently, Overwatch, which came out in 2016, created that original idea. Surely the developers of Overwatch 1 didn't steal the idea of Black Widow for Widowmaker. That's such a tongue twister. Black Widow, Widowmaker. Surely, guys. Surely. So stupid. But yeah, it was the ex-Blizzard president who had said, those fucking Chinese developers, man. They fucking stole Widowmaker's idea. What a doofus take. But thank you for the dono. And Mangus, thank you so much for the 2. Take the shot, take the shot. I did take the shot. I've taken 2 shots. I did. I took 2 shots. Is the orange lady drunk? I took 2 shots, guys. Listen. It's going to take a little bit more than that. Vera, what kind of mic do you use? I use I'll send you the link to it on Amazon. It's a Shure MV7 Plus. But I'll send you the link. I used to use an SM7B, and the SM7B was good. But the problem with the SM7B, not to go off on a tangent, you need an audio mixer for it. You need like an interface. You need a cloud lifter. It's like an $800 or $900 setup in total. But with this, you can plug this in with USB-C, or you could use it with the interface. So you don't technically, oh Jesus, what the fuck? What just happened? It sent it 3 times. Why is Amazon gay? I'm just trying to share with my audience, man. Oh, there's the proper link. Whoops. Anyway, you can just plug this in with USB-C, or you could do XLR. But I use the MV7 Plus. It's really good. It's a great microphone. I got it, I'd say probably around a year ago. And I do have a backup of it. It's really good, but I highly recommend it. It's $300, so it is kind of expensive. But you probably won't need another one. And you could travel with it. Drunk Vera. Yes, guys. I am drunk for real. 2 shots. I'm toast. Anyway, I thought that this was hilarious. And thank you, Clint, for bringing that up. That is a great comparison. This fucking tweet from the Blizzard president. I actually need to save this. I need to bookmark this later. Because this is, I feel, a situation I don't reference enough. And it deserves a lot of reference. I can't believe he said that. It just seems so fake to me. But I guess that's what happens when you're just a CEO or a president who doesn't truly understand the culture. You're just a businessman. And yeah, like, I get that not every businessman is going to completely know the culture. But I think Black Widow is such an old reference at this point. that there's no way that you could ever think that, like, oh, they stole the idea for Black Widow for Widow. I don't know, whatever. They stole the idea for Widowmaker for Black Widow. That's crazy to me. I'm definitely gonna have to fucking bookmark that, though. But PC Gamer is now saying that apparently Marvel Rivals has opened up the Gooner floodgates, and now they feel like the clock has been wound 10 years back, which is just so hilarious. And they're getting wrecked. I didn't even see this ratio, actually. The PC Gamer account has 3 point... Am I blocked? Oh, I'm not blocked. I thought because it didn't pop up with the description, I was blocked. Okay, I gotta chill. 16 likes. An account with 3.3 million followers. 16 likes. 14 retweets. And 59 comments. They're getting ratioed. But these are peanut ratios. 3.3 million and you can only get 16 people supporting you? That's pretty bad. That's... I don't think I've seen that in a long time. That's terrible. Wind back the clock 10 years and not live in the wonderful paradise everyone loves that we have today? My, how PC Gamer has slid. What's wrong with wanting hot characters? In theory, there should be nothing wrong. It's okay if you like to see sexy characters or exaggerated characters in your entertainment. As a woman myself, I would rather see attractive female and male characters than seeing fat whales, than tubs of lard. I don't think that seeing ugly characters is good. Sure, if that character has a point, like the fact that they're ugly is important to their story, such as Brienne of Tarth, that's one thing. Those 16 people are co-workers, probably. But otherwise, I don't think that it matters if a developer wants to create an ugly or a hot character. Like, we shouldn't attack them if they want to create a pretty character. I don't know. I'll never understand that. I would rather see unrealistically attractive than realistically ugly. I don't know. Whatever. I guess they're allowed to have their opinions, even if their opinions are wrong. Yeah. Good. Gaming was better 10 years ago. What even came out in 2015? 2015 game releases. I mean, in general, yes. 2015 was probably a significantly better year. The problem, though, is that we had Expedition this year. Just a couple of years ago, we had Elden Ring. Like, there are still good games that come out now. It's just that they're so infrequent. I think that's the best way to put it. They're fewer and farther between. 2015 was MGS5. Yeah, let me bring up this list real quick, actually. Off the top of my head, I don't even know what came out in 2015. Because I was a 15-year-old. Or I was a 16-year-old. Hold on one second. Let me find a good list. I know, like, Witcher came out. That was obviously insane. I think Ori came out. Yeah. Okay. I'm not insane. Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. Obviously. That was... us. Yeah. What year? What month did it come out? May. Okay. So it was actually pretty close to now in terms of the month. So Witcher 3, absolutely fucking amazing game. I mean, I don't want to say it's one of the best. It's hard, right? Because I think that games like Elden Ring and Expedition are still slightly better. But Witcher 3 was so good. But I'm also going in considering the entire 3 games. Witcher 3 as a standalone, I think as a standalone, I'd probably rate an 8.5. But all 3 games together, it's like the Arkhamverse. It's almost impossible for a single game to go against the trilogy. Like the Arkhamverse, I love those 4 games. Those 4 games are basically perfect as a complete story. But something like Elden Ring, it's amazing as a standalone, but because it doesn't have as many entries, it's almost harder to rate it against a full, like, combination of games. It's very hard to explain, but I think you guys know what I mean. Like, as an individual game, Witcher 3 is fucking amazing, but the trilogy is perfect. Same with Arkhamverse. Like, oh, Arkham Knight is an 8 out of 10. Arkham Asylum is an 8.5 out of 10. But then you get into City and Origins, which are like 9s and 9.5s. But as a combination, they're basically a 10. What else came out? GTA Online. Meh. Wait, Rocket League was 2015? I've never been a Rocket League player. I don't know if you guys have ever really put a lot of time into it. Expedition 33 is in a realm of its own, yeah. I love Elden Ring, and I think that it's going to be so hard to pick Expedition 33 versus Elden Ring for Game of the Decade. That's going to be insanely difficult for me. They're basically both 10s. Ooh. If you could only pick Witcher 1 through 3 or KOTOR 1 and 2, what do you pick? Not considering books and not considering SWTOR, because I love the Witcher books and I love SWTOR, not considering those outside influences, just considering the games. KOTOR. They are so close on the same scale. So close. But I think that I would pick KOTOR. I just have a little bit more love for KOTOR. But again, if we're counting like the books and then SWTOR, I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, it is a super tough question. That's tough. It is. I think for... when I'm taking into consideration individual games, I think I like KOTOR 1 and 2 as standalone slightly more than Witcher 1, 2, and 3. So I think that's kind of where my opinion sways. Oh, but as a trilogy, it's hard to compare a series that has 2 games versus a series that has 3 games. Because you get so much more content. That's tough. I'd go KOTOR, though. Yeah, I'd go KOTOR. Close, though. They're both in, like, that top percentage of games, though. DB for life. Thank you so much for the 10. Guys, I appreciate all your donations, for your support. Thank you for being here. Question, Vera, do you think... because of the high prices now, will that price out the consumer to where we'll see an uptick in sales for older console games like PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, SNES, Sega, etc.? The thing with that is that I think we will see an uptick in the subscription services that provide those. Because I know for Game Pass, they were just talking. Let me find that, actually. Game Pass, Activision Games. Yes. So, with individual games, the problem that you face is that their prices are high. Like, if you go and buy Chrono Trigger, it's hundreds of dollars. If you buy Twilight Princess, it's hundreds of dollars. The individual games, when you're buying retro, are so expensive. But I think what it will do is it will lead people to subscription services that are offering these. And I think that this is funny that you bring it up. It's actually a good point. Thank you so much for the donation. Microsoft had just announced retro classics with Game Pass. So they're trying to do what Nintendo does, where Nintendo offers like the emulators. Microsoft's now doing the same thing with Game Pass. They're now, does it say when? If not now, in the future, they plan to add over 50 Activision games from the 80s and 90s. So I think with the higher game prices, they're trying to almost push more people to buying the subscriptions or supporting the subscriptions where they have the retro game. So I think the secondary market will obviously thrive. It's been thriving though. But with things like Game Pass, it almost feels intentional because they know that people are going to go back and play the nostalgia games. I also was thinking, now, this might be a tinfoil hat theory. When they put the older games onto subscription services like Game Pass or like Nintendo Online, it's almost like, well, is this really a tinfoil hat theory? It's almost like what they're doing is they're trying to make it so that they see a heightened interest in the older games so that they can continue the excuse of remastering and remaking and rebooting. That's the way that I feel. If they put 50 Activision classics on Game Pass, people are going to play those 50. So then that is potentially 50 games that they could say, well, financially, it makes sense to remake these or to reboot these because people like them and people are showing interest. I think that any company, though, at this point is trying to find properties to remake and reboot, though. So I guess maybe it's not really that big of a conspiracy theory. But they're trying to show almost to their investors that there is that interest. Bilbo? Bilbo? What's he doing? I just saw him move back there. I mean, he's alive, so he's gonna move, but... Hello? Damn, he's asleep. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing about that box anymore. I don't want to take it away from him. He's dead! I killed him! He's dreaming. Yeah, I saw his, like, paws twitch. He's been having so many nightmares. So I don't want to move the box. Could Marathon get a remake? I mean, Marathon... Oh, do you mean, like, the OGs? No. After what's happened with the Marathon, like, reboot, I don't see a way that's gonna happen. By the way, I'm so sad. Does anybody have another copy of OG Marathon? I have a Marathon disc, and mine is scratched to shit and will not work. I know that you can... I just got flashbanged. I know that you can purchase them. I think in November they had added them to like GOG and stuff. You can play them, but I can't play my original Mac version. And I can't find any on eBay. Makes me sad. If anybody has a version, a copy of Marathon that they want to get rid of for Mac, let me know. I know I'm like 30 years too late to the party here. No wonder there aren't any copies available anymore. But I'm so sad. My copy won't work. LOL. Yeah, sorry. I'm e-begging. If anyone has a copy, though, that they want to sell, Vera will trade you her 5080. I love this 5080. I mean, it doesn't seem much different from the 3090, but it's good. Anyway, conspiracy theory Vera, I'll take the hat off for that. I just think that they keep adding these retro classics to platforms like Game Pass and Nintendo Online because they think that it will lead to interest to these older franchises and then they can reboot and remake them. We went off on a complete tangent here. I mean, we were talking about games released in 2015 and then we got into like Game Pass. That was... Anyway, we went off on a complete tangent there. Amy Hennig. What's she up to? Wasn't she supposed to come out with a... I'm not going on another rant. I'm not going off topic. I'm just asking. Wasn't she supposed to be coming out with a new game? Oh. Yikes. She was working on Rise of Hydra. And she was working on a Star Wars game. Oh, she's fucking cooked. Her career's over. Sorry to her. Wait, she worked on Forspoken? I didn't even know that. You learn something new every day. I didn't even know that. Yikes. Poor Amy. She's actually one of the decent women in this industry. We got way off topic. Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain, Grand Theft Auto 5, Divinity Original Sin, Mario Kart 8 DLC pack, Witcher 3. Bloodborne. This Halloween's gonna be so crazy. In October, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing 8-hour streams. Majora's Mask 3D. Damn. I don't know why, but I don't even remember 2015 for games except for Witcher. Guess it just goes to show what I was playing. Damn. Well, guys, what other topic do we want to discuss really quickly? Oh, let's talk about this. I had put up a video on this today. YouTube's been super broken today. So I had recorded a Naughty Dog video, which I didn't put up because I guess I'll just show you guys really quickly. YouTube has been super fucking broken today. Let me take a screenshot of this to show you. Actually, is this gonna work? I don't think it's gonna work. Your computer. Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter that much. YouTube has been broken as fuck today. YouTube is showing on my dashboard 0. Apparently, you guys have not been watching my videos today. It says for like my Kevin Feige video, 0 views, even though it's got 400 likes. My Take 2 video says 0 views, 700 likes. I can't believe you guys abandoned me like this. But I didn't put up my third video. My third video was on Naughty Dog. But I did put up my video on Take 2 in case you want to know like my full analysis. I don't know. YouTube's been super broken today. It doesn't matter though. But that's also a reason why I wanted to do the stream, because I figured I had a lot of topics that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, LOL. I fell off, guys. 0 views, but 800 likes. I fell off. This is probably going to be my last stream. Honestly, I'm thinking this is my retirement stream. Anyway, I did put up a Take 2 video today. I know YouTube's been really funky. It also didn't send out notifications, but apparently Take 2 filed an annual report which removed all references to support of DEI, dropped prior boasts about awards it got for supporting LGBTQ workers, amidst prior mentions of work to diversify their talent pool with scholarships. Part of me wants to believe them. Part of me says, if Take 2 is willing to drop this with their investors, which are the people they care most about, then they must be changing their minds. They must truly be getting the picture. They must truly be understanding. But this is the problem with Marxists, is that they just reword and they rephrase. And they don't actually change. So on one hand, it's like I want to believe Take 2 when they say, we're changing our minds. But on another hand, it's more like a rebrand, at least in my opinion. It says, Stephen Totillo on Take 2 in 2024, we firmly believe that diverse teams are more valuable and effective and that diversity is key to our success. Now, I say this all the time. Diversity, when done naturally, is super important. And I agree with it. If you are simply hiring a woman or a black individual or a lesbian or a transgender or whatever, because they are the best person for the job, that is amazing. That will always be my opinion. It has always been my opinion. The best person for the job, the most qualified for the job, should get the job. But when you are hiring because you're a company who goes down a checklist and checks off every box, that's the problem. If we were simply hiring diverse people because they were the best, that is what would matter. That would be good. That would be cool. But we don't hire based on merits in this industry anymore. And Take-Two didn't either, up until now, I guess. And they're changing their wording to, quote, "We firmly believe that diversity of thought drives that innovation that is integral to our success." Oh my God. It's like we've been saying this for years. Diversity of thought is what's important. You should be hiring people who think differently. If you have a team of, let's say, for argument's sake, 500 people, and those 500 people are all very opinionated, and then you have a team of 498 of them who all share the same opinion and who say, yeah, fuck the audience, we should create what we want, and this is the direction we want to go in. That's not healthy. That's not good. Within a company, there should be people who challenge you, whether they're challenging the gameplay that you're designing, or the levels that you're designing, or they're challenging your story. Competition is healthy. I've said this about like GTA 6 specifically, because the only competition GTA 6 really had in the past was Saints Row, and we see what happened with Saints Row. I want to shed a tear. But their competition now is Elder Scrolls because of the money that's going into these games. Which game is going to be the most successful? Which is going to be the most popular? Which is going to make the most funds? Competition is healthy, and when you don't have competition, you feel that you are unstoppable. You feel like you can do whatever you want, and that is a problem. When you go unchallenged and you have toxic positivity in a workplace, that is a problem. And it's the same with developers. If you have a developer, or a team of developers, I guess I should say, who they constantly challenge each other, you're more likely to have a much more, I don't know how to say it, like in-depth product, a product with a lot of depth, because it's not just one-sided. It's not just one angle. And I think that it is fantastic to hear that they apparently are believing now diversity of thought drives the innovation. The issue with this is that they're a fucking company, and companies don't care. If chasing social trends in the direction of having DEI initiatives is what is hot today, they're gonna do that. If tomorrow it's fuck DEI, they're gonna say the same thing if they think that it's going to make them more money. If the administration changes in 4 years, they're going to bring back that DEI program. They're not dismantling completely. This is what Marxists do. They reword, they recode, and then they, I guess we'll just say reboot. They don't get rid of these divisions completely. They just maybe fire 50% of these people. Maybe they change the name of the program. And that's why I can't trust them. I want to have faith that they're like being truthful. I want to have faith that they're not lying, but they're a company. And you should never believe that companies actually give a fuck about you. I think it was with Veilguard. Was it Corinne Bush? I don't remember exactly. I should have looked this up. Me, the hack, spreading misinformation, grifter. They basically said that BioWare stopped caring about them. Yeah. BioWare didn't support you anymore because you didn't fucking make them money. A company doesn't care about who you fuck. A company doesn't care about the furry fanfic you write in your off time. The company doesn't care about who you voted for. What does the company care about? Making money. When you make them money, they'll pretend to care. When you are giving them money, they will pretend to care. When you don't make them money, they will drop you like a fucking rock in a pond. What is so hard to understand about that? Companies don't care about you. They don't give a fuck. I mean, I guess if you're making $100 million based on your sexuality, then they'll care. But that's beside the point. That's not happening for Veilguard. But that's the problem. You don't put your trust in companies because they are entities. And I'm not blaming the company for wanting to make money. I think that's important to point out because somebody would, well, I guess it happens on every video I talk about this. People are like, oh my God, why are you defending EA? Why are you defending BioWare? I'm not trying to defend them. But I'm trying to see it slightly from their point of view. And their point of view is making money. That's with any company, though. You can't expect different. If tomorrow you don't make them money, tomorrow the company won't care about you. If you... Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't. Well, let me say this in the nicest way possible. I don't know how to say this in the nice way that YouTube's not going to ban me. I'm not going to say, I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't think of a way that's actually going to be nice. Radioactive, thank you for the donation. I can't think of a way. Look up Bridge to see how DEI is changing. Oh yeah, they constantly change the terms. They constantly change the way that they present things. But it is part of their playbook. DEI is being phased out without anything actually changing. I completely agree. Just say it. Being trans is already a mental illness. And so, ultimately, why did you think a company cared so much about you being mentally ill that now you're just having another mentally ill breakdown over a company not caring about you being mentally ill? Do you actually think that a company cared about that? No, you were cheap. You were a cheap hire. You weren't talented. You weren't in this industry. So they only hired you because you were cheap. So why is it on one hand you thought, oh my god, they care about my mental illness, but then on another hand, you're now like, they don't care about my mental illness, we need to cancel them. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to say that in a nice way. Like, companies don't care. If you're a cheap worker and they think you're gonna make them money, that's all they care about. Parabullying. You guys now, I think, see why I hesitated. Like, don't ban me, YouTube, but I don't know how to say it in a nice way. Drunk? I'm not drunk. I mean, I took 2 shots. Come on now. I generally think that what you do on your own time is your business. I don't care what your sexuality is if you can make a good game. I've always said this, though. If you're an Anita Sarkeesian or a Brianna Wu or a Zoe Quinn and you're making a good game, I don't give a fuck who you fuck. I don't care about what you do in your off time. The problem is that these people don't know how to separate their work from their real life. I am fine with supporting a team of 95% woke people if they're making a good experience. If you can leave your personal politics at the door when you go to work, that is what matters to me. Because there are books and movies and TV shows that are created by people who have completely different opinions than me, and I think that that is perfectly fine. I can look past your personal politics if you don't shove them in my face. That's always been my opinion, and that always will be my opinion. But if you're saying you only got hired because you felt a company cared about that, but then you complain that they fired you because you weren't good at your job, like, how are you expecting me to, like, feel bad for you? I don't know. I mean, I've explained this 100 times. I'll probably have to explain it 100 more, but what you do in your off time doesn't matter to me if you can still make good entertainment. It's like Stephen King. I think I've explained this before. My aunt, up until the point where she had passed away, had every Stephen King book signed. She had met him like 20 times. She loved his work. She had known that Stephen King had blocked me on social media. Did she care? No, because she thought his writing was amazing. And I think a lot of his writing is amazing. I think a lot of what he created was pretty good. Can I look at Stephen King on social media and separate him from the person who wrote the books? To a certain degree. I think it's become harder in recent years because of how much celebrities and personalities like him use social media and how much they kind of yap. But she understood, well, what he wrote is one thing and who he is online is another. And I can separate the art from the artist, but it's becoming increasingly hard. It's like with Mark Hamill. I love Mark Hamill as Luke. I love Mark Hamill as the Joker. And those will always be such amazing experiences to me, but he's a fuck online. If you can leave your politics at the door when you are writing or creating a game or whatever medium you're actually doing, or if you're recording a movie, I can look past it to a certain extent. And I know that not everyone's going to agree. Not everybody can separate the art from the artist, and that's fine. I still can to a certain extent. Yeah, Luke is great, but Mark is not. 100%. I could not agree with this more. Clint, thank you for the 2. Sorry, guys. I'm I'm going on a rant here. Somehow mental illness is now a path to power. I mean, yeah, it has been for a very long time. It's like I even talk about with the feminist angle. I've already talked about it a little bit, but I'm going to start doing like a maybe once a month series on books that are written about like gaming sexism and feminism. I have always said that original feminism, I'm talking about women have no rights and they deserve to have equal rights to men. I 100% agree with that. If that was still the definition of being a feminist, I would be a fucking feminist. The problem is that feminists now want a power imbalance. They want to be higher than men. They want to denigrate men. And I will never agree with that. And that is why I will not call myself a feminist. If we were still talking about equality, hell yeah, guys, I'm a fucking feminist. The issue, though, with Western feminists, I'm not going to get into this, is that they only give a fuck about what affects them. Oh, we don't care about what's happening to women in the Middle East. We only care about what happens to women in our state or our country, which is nothing bad at this point. Sure, there are still some people who are meanies online. Oh my God. If you actually are a real feminist in 2025, you would be caring about the places in the world where women still do not have equal rights. But they don't, because they are selfish. They're egotistical. They only care about women's rights when it affects them and the way that they're portrayed in movies. I could go on and on. If feminism was actually still about equal rights, I'd be a feminist. But it's not anymore. It's about denigration. It's about control. It's about power. And that's the major problem. And that sucks. As a woman, I'd love to be able to say, I stick with women. But we see that most feminists now are, how do I say this? A little special. Let's just leave it there. But anyway, Clint, thank you for the 2. Mental illness is now a path to power. 100%. Bill, thank you so much for the 5. Trans women are the best hires. Men's strength. Women's wages. No maternity leaves. Bill, listen, you can't put me in the hot seat like that. I'm not laughing. I would never laugh at such a thing. YouTube's already saying today that I've fallen off. YouTube says my Feige video has 0 views. YouTube saying my Take 2 abandons DEI video has 0 views. They're prepping to ban me. Bill, I'm not laughing, YouTube. I'm not laughing. The journo hat has to save me. Big Amish, thank you for the 10. Oh no, here we go. His propensity to be sexually aroused by the thought or image of himself as a female. Hashtag I stand with Fox who's in hiding. I did read that. Thank you so much for the 10. Actually, I'm going to be ending stream really soon. Because tonight was just like a... I don't want to say like a filler stream, but there was just a lot of random topics to yap about, and I'm a woman, so I like to yap. I've really been enjoying doing more discussion streams, but I had read, let me see if I can find it really quickly, about Kirsha. She left her home because she's being attacked. I want to say, was it bounding into comics? I had seen an article about that. I didn't read about it, though. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. If anybody has an article, post in the Discord. Did she post it on her ex? Either way, that's terrible. I had read something about that. I didn't bookmark it. What? Kirsha, over the past couple of weeks, has obviously been in the hot seat by the mainstream media. She had decided, I don't like to use this word because it sounds kind of almost dramatic, but she left her home for her safety because she was being threatened in real life. I don't know if she got doxxed. I'm assuming that she got doxxed. I can't find it, but I did read that she did decide to leave her home for a little while. I don't think she gave really any information on it, but that sucks. That's terrible. I feel very, very bad. I mean, obviously, doxing is a very tough conversation. I don't think anybody should ever be doxed. I don't think anybody should ever get to the point where on social media, like, you're taking something so personally that you threaten somebody's life, even against my worst enemy. I would never wish for them to be doxxed. I would never wish for, like, real life threats against them. But I did see something about that she did decide to, like, leave her own home and, like, take a step away just because she was worried. But I can't find an article on that, but I do know that happened. If I can find the article, I'll probably end up covering it tomorrow in a video, because that's terrible. Also, YouTube keeps breaking on me. Please stop. Anyway, Wild Dog, thank you so much for the 5. We need to send women back to the Dark Ages. Listen, I don't speak for all women, but I speak for some. I'd rather not get stoned. Because, I don't know, I did a magic trick in my kitchen and then somebody said I'm a witch. Just me. I'd rather not go back to the Dark Age. I'd be dead. I'd be dead in 5 minutes. I don't think I'd last very long. It's like medieval ages. I love reading books about the medieval ages. I have so many textbooks. I wouldn't survive 5 fucking minutes. Which, yeah, it would happen. I'd spawn in and I'd be dead. You do witchcraft? I mean, at that point, opening a can without a man's help would be considered witchcraft, so yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up stream in a few minutes. We've gotten way off topic. Well, I guess except for the witch part, it's been on topic. Like I mentioned, though, I'm not trying to get banned by YouTube, but when it comes down to diversity, bring back mental asylums. I just don't think we should be hiring people based on their mental illness. Just my take. Just my take. Well, guys, this is my retirement stream. Any last questions, feel free to ask them. Feel free to put your comments in chat. I'll read all of them. This is going to be our last time together. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Anyway, I've always said it. If you're an adult, do what you want. As long as you're not putting it on kids, Be mentally ill. Hashtag I stand with you. But also, I don't think we should be hiring people based on that. Have you played Midnight Walk yet? I haven't. There are so many games that have come out over the past couple of weeks that I want to play. I think tomorrow and Sunday, we're going to finish Dustborn. Wait. I don't know if my save is right. I haven't checked my save in months. It's been 8 months since we played. I haven't checked my save. As long as my save is okay. I want to play more Avalon. But I also want to finish Dustborn. But my plans are wildly different now. Because I originally thought we weren't going to be playing Elden Ring until Saturday or Friday. But it actually comes out on 6 p.m. Thursday. So Thursday is going to be a long stream. We're going to be playing the fuck out of Elden Ring. So we technically have 3 streams. But we could finish Dustborn between tomorrow and Sunday. Do another discussion stream on Tuesday. And then play Elden Ring. There's that game. Hold on. Let me find this other game. I had seen it. I think it was on X. There's another game that came out. I want to play Midnight Walk. That is on my backlog. I do want to stream that. There's another game, though. Let me find it. What is it called? It's called... Hold on one second. Let me find it. It's on my phone. Oh, yeah. Out of Sight. It's about a blind little girl who can only see... It's a horror game. She can only see through her teddy bear. That sounds so awesome to me. Out of... If I have to hear this word patriarchy one more time... it's not even long. I think that we'll probably play this on an... Not like a Saturday or Sunday. But it's about this young girl who's blind. Who... You have to place your teddy bear in a place. And then the teddy bear sees for you. And that just sounds so unique to me. I want to play this. I want to play this. I want to play Midnight Walk. There's another game that I also wanted to stream. I know I want to go back to Zelda soon. But there's a lot of games coming out over the next, 2 months. But this just came out. It's short. I mean, this person only played in 2 hours. I could complete that in a 6-hour stream. I could do that. Probably. But this looks really cool. Sounds familiar. Where have I heard about this game? I mentioned it the other day. I think it was Juby who said originally she was supposed to have like a cane or a stick. I don't remember what they're called. So she could feel around instead of the teddy bear. If this is the same game that Juby was thinking of, this looks really unique. So I do want to stream that too. But if it is only 2 hours, that's pretty short. I also want to finish Kazan, so we have a lot of stuff to play. But I'd like to get done some more games, because unfortunately, a lot of them we haven't finished. Like Kazan. I could boot up Kazan right now and defeat Hismar in 3 tries. I couldn't. But we need to finish Kazan. There's so many games that I want to play. It's tough. But next week is going to be Elden Ring. I mean, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, all Elden Ring. Please don't retire, Vera. Thank you, Seth, so much for the 2. Also, I think it was right before stream. Thank you so much for becoming a Gold Titan. I don't believe I had thanked you at the beginning of stream. Thank you so much for the support, Seth. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Clint, thank you for the 2. Awaiting new purple-haired streamer, Krod Arv. Come on, guys. Listen. We know if anybody's going to replace me, it's going to be Vera Light. And then she's going to be a blue-haired SJW. We already know. Mario Bros crying in the corner. I enjoyed Brothership. But we had only done 2 streams of it. So that's kind of on the back burner. I hate leaving games. But I feel conflicted because I want to finish games, but I also want to show as many games off on the channel as possible. It's a toss-up. But yeah, I'll be wrapping up stream in a few, guys. Leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying. We're at 373. Let's see if we can get to 400. Donate, support, become a member. Gift memberships. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You're gonna be reborn like Gandalf the White. If only I could be so based. 6 tries later, I can't beat Hismar! Drunken Fist Vera. Yeah. Hey, it's better than in Black Myth Wukong with non-abled. I'm sorry. I can't help but bring up that mob. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Lesser abled and non-abled. We gotta cancel these devs. Chris, thank you for the $1.99. Did Shooty leave or was he fired? Chris, quickly, update on that. Apparently, yesterday, I think it was like at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern, there was a report that Shooty Gatwa quit Doctor Who. I think it was I saw this about an hour before stream. BBC is saying it's not true. BBC is saying that I think their wording was the Access Media was pushing a lie. Because the Access Media would never do that, guys. Apparently, according to the BBC, he didn't actually quit and was not fired. Now, that doesn't mean in 3 months they're going to announce that he left or was fired or quit or whatever they want to say. They could just be damage controlling at this point. But the BBC is saying, oh no, he wasn't fired. Rover! Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships to the channel. Absolutely fucking chat of you. Much appreciated. Also, how are you doing, Rover? Vera didn't say Rover. I was in the middle of a rant. You guys know. If I'm in the middle of a rant and a donation comes through, I have to finish the rant. Have to. Or else I'm going to get way off topic and I'm going to say thank you to Rover and then Rover's going to start chatting and I'm going to forget what I was saying and I'm going to forget where I was. You guys know I've only got a one-track mind and I have to finish what I'm saying or I'm going to completely forget. Rover, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing good. Let me check one. Yeah, YouTube's still broken. Well, guys, it is what it is. Also, give the stream a like. We're at 387. Let's see if we can get to 400. I'm going to be wrapping up stream in just a few. I appreciate it, Rover. Thank you so much. Guys, I appreciate all your donations and your support, though. Of course. If you have any last-minute questions or topics, leave them in chat. I appreciate it. I mean, I had a bunch of topics that we could have talked about, but the main ones that I had wanted to chat about were Elden Ring, Wheel of Time. I labeled the tab butts. You guys already know I'm gonna fucking roast PC Gamer in a video tomorrow. Marvel Rival Gooner skins have wound back the clock 10 years. Bullshit. And, yeah, like we chatted briefly about Dragon Age and Take-Two, but a lot's happened over the past, like, 3 days. Like I've said, I want to try to do more discussion streams. You guys seem to really enjoy them. I also like them, too, because when I'm streaming games, I have to focus on the game. So it becomes very difficult to, like, listen to chat or acknowledge everything that chat is saying. But in discussion streams, I have more time to actually, like, read comments and answer questions, which is nice. I just need to balance it better. I hate losing a video game stream day on, like, a Tuesday or Thursday. But doing something like a Friday night, that's not bad. A couple hours, like 2 hours, 3 hours, so that we can kind of go over the, like, topics of the week. But If I lose a stream day, we are cooked. If what I do is I sit and I do a discussion stream, I don't know, every like Tuesday, let's say, for example, and I lose out on that game stream day, we're never gonna get done games. But yeah, you know, I enjoy being able to do the discussion streams, even if they're like once every 2 weeks, and I want to do more of them. You have very good takes and interesting views. It's also nice because I will put up videos that are short, right? Like, usually on my off stream days, well, I've been doing it more on my stream days even as well. I'll do like a 5-minute video, so it's shorter, it's a quicker take. In a stream, I can talk about a topic for 2 minutes if I want. So there's more of my opinions being put on my platform, which I think is good. But I'm a woman. I yap. We know my topics are never 2 or 3 minutes, but yeah. We have a lot of games to finish. I want to finish Dustborn soon. Next week is going to be Elden Ring, which is going to be fucking massive. I'm super hyped for that. So we have 4 days. I think I want to finish Dustborn, or we have 3 days, actually. I want to finish Dustborn, and I think what we're going to do is finish that up. And then maybe do another discussion stream next week. Obviously, only time will tell, but I never have any solid plans. Because I don't want to make a plan like 3 weeks in advance and then us not like the plan. But I want to finish more games. There's been a couple of games recently that we haven't finished. I want to play Kazan more, though. I'm not going to say it again. I could beat Hismar. One day. You're a woman. You're born to yap. It's your strongest side. Yeah, I mean, that's why I do so many videos. So that I can do the game streams. Because I'm a gamer first and foremost. But it is nice to be able to have, like, these discussion streams so I can either take quick hits when it comes to topics or, like, give updates. Maybe we should start doing these, like, once a week. On a Monday or a Friday, perhaps. And then we could just do, like, a 2-hour stream. Yapping is good for your kidneys, Vera. My kidneys are perfectly fine. Allegedly. Vera did not finish Mario and Luigi. I didn't know. What was it that came out around that time? Let me look real quick. There was another game that had come out pretty close to that. That came out in November, I want to say. Yes. So we had streamed that twice. Oh, God, that's cursed. We were balancing Dragon Age the Veilguard and Black Myth Wukong right before Stalker 2. That's why we didn't play more Mario and Luigi. We dropped Mario and Luigi for Veilguard. Hey, at least I finished it! That's gotta count for something. I do hate myself, in fact, yes. You don't have to ask. I do hate myself. I can't believe that. Wow. You've changed, Vera. How could you do this to us? Veilguard, yeah, I remember now. I did drop Stalker 2. Stalker 2 was fun. But sometimes there are games that are too long to stream. It's like why I've never streamed a Persona game. It would take a month to... well, I guess with the amount I stream, it would probably only take like 3 weeks. Regardless, though, it would take a significant amount of time. And sometimes it's difficult because there's other games that release. If there's like a month where there's nothing coming out, then sure, we could take 3 weeks to play a game. It typically isn't like that, though. What's your favorite Castlevania game? Symphony of the Night. Off the top of my head, that's the one that I'd say. A lot of Castlevania games are good, though, but it's probably Symphony. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you guys for being here the past few hours. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the donations, for the gifted memberships, for all of the support. Yeah, Stalker 2 was pretty broken. It was long, and it also had a lot of technical difficulties, so we didn't really end up going back to it. Maybe one day I'd consider it. It was tough, though. It was enjoyable. I can deal with a lot. Technical difficulties are what get me. I can deal with the wokest shit possible. Well, I haven't finished Dustborn yet. I finished Bloom and Rage. That counts for something. But I can deal with really heavy-handed stories politically. When something makes it so I can't progress in a main story, or I can't actually play the game, that's where I tap out. Stalker 2 had a lot of problems, but it was fun. Though, I don't know if we'll ever go back to it. I can't promise. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for all of your direct donations, for your gifted memberships, for your donations, for your viewership, for any new subscribers here. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. This random Friday night stream. Wasn't planned. Decided it like 3 hours before. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we chatted about a lot of topics, which is good. YouTube's still saying I've got 0 views. I'm banned. I'm blacklisted. This is my retirement stream. But yeah, join the Discord if you're not already a part of it. Check out the links in the description. Follow me on social media. Join the Discord. X, Rumble, all those other social platforms. I'll be live again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. I still have to technically decide what we're streaming. There's a small part of me that wants to finish Dustborn. I also want to play more Avalon, though. But we're not going to get a chance to play that full game. So do we go with a finishing playthrough? Or do I go with a new game? Just leave it! I know I should. I should just leave it. I don't know. I'll decide in the next little while. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Check out links in the description. Thank you for the donations, for the memberships, for stopping by. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, new stream, multiple hours of video games. No yapping. Well, it's me. So a little bit of yapping. But yeah, no other context. Thank you for being here the past few hours. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. And have a really fantastic, YouTube's frozen. Well, guys, we have to wait a minute. I can't end stream. I'm being held hostage. Oh, it's fixed. Thank you, YouTube, for being so broken today. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Yeah, I know, hostage situation. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by, and have a really fantastic rest of your evening, everyone.